Lexi, did Edgar Allan Poe write satanic literature? Was Edgar Allan Poe satanic? And most importantly, did he get kicked out of West Point for fucking a goat?
I don't know, Judas. Let's find out.
Welcome to Satan is My Superhero.
In this episode, we shine our black light on one of modern satanic literature's finest influences, 19th century American poet, Edgar Allan Poe.
That's right, kiddies. Poets used to be a thing, and no matter what you've been told, there were American ones.
I ain't no poet. I'm a real man, and I know it. Oh no, that rhymed!
Edgar Poe was born in Boston in 1809. Then his dad left pretty much straight away.
I ain't the pappy of no poet, and I know it. Oh no, that rhymed!
His mum passed away when he was only 2 years old. He was fostered by the Allan family, and that is where the Allan in Edgar Allan Poe comes from.
They sound nice.
Yeah, the Allans were wealthy slave traders in Virginia.
Oh.
How disappointing.
Welcome to our home, Edgar. Everyone here is part of the family, except for the dark-skinned ones. We own them.
Nothing to see here.
Poe went to university to study ancient and modern languages, and while he was there, he racked up some massive gambling debts that his foster father refused to pay.
This is tough love. I'm not an enabler. And the money I give that boy, he'll just spend on poetry supplies.
This led to a bust-up with his foster father, and the young Poe dropped out of uni, published his first book of poetry, and enlisted in the US Army in Boston under an assumed name. I'm guessing to hide out from his creditors?
I've seen photos of Poe. He looks like a hot bath and half a green apple would kill him. How did the army work out for him?
Surprisingly well. In 2 years, he went from private to sergeant major.
Well, my face is red.
As it should be. But the next part is where it starts to get weird. 2 years into his 5-year enlistment, Poe goes to his commanding officer and comes clean about his true identity. His commanding officer gives him an honourable discharge.
Sir, I have a confession to make. These last 2 years have been a lie. I'm secretly a poet.
My God, man, do you have any idea what you've done?
Poe then kissed and made up with his foster father, who I guess paid off those gambling debts. And Poe then published his second book of poetry.
The difficult sophomore book. You've got a lifetime to write your first one, and then 18 months to come up with the next. You're on the road, your life's turned upside down, there's the uppers to get on stage, there's the downers to sleep, there's the groupies.
Are you finished?
Yep.
After publishing his difficult sophomore book of poetry, Poe went back to the army, this time enrolling at West Point Military Academy. Not under an assumed name, I assume.
Reporting for duty, Edgar Allan Poe. Previously enlisted under false and fraudulent pretenses. Also reputed runaway, alcoholic, and degenerate gambler.
Well, at least you're not a poet.
While at West Point, he lived with his aunt and her 7-year-old daughter, Virginia.
Oh, Lexi. Why do you mention 7-year-old Virginia?
I think you know why, Judas.
It's not too late to change subjects. Could have done either of the Shelleys. They never molested anyone, as far as we know.
I know, but we're here now.
Let them cook.
So just 6 months into West Point, Poe had fallen out with his foster father again, and then he simply refused to go to any classes or drills or church until he was court-martialed and expelled.
So, reading between the lines, was West Point an attempt by the foster father to straighten out Poe?
Maybe.
Military school will beat the poetry out of him.
Poe and his poetry must have been popular at West Point. His third book was crowdfunded by his fellow cadets.
I feel like that act was not as charitable as it sounds.
Listen up, my fellow cadets, colleagues, classmates, and chums. If we each contribute 5 Yankee dollars, I believe we can rid ourselves of this awkward fellow Poe.
At the age of 26, Poe was getting pieces published in different publications across the states and applying for a marriage license to marry his cousin Virginia.
Mr. Poe, I'm just going over your application for a marriage license here. Your wife-to-be seems to have filled out her section in crayon?
Now, it's not as bad as you think. Obviously, this is years later. It's not like she's 7 anymore.
Oh, phew.
Yeah, she's 13.
In the 5 years of this podcast, we have done 13 individual episodes on different heavy metal bands. Sexual assault, not mentioned once. One of those bands was Motley Crue. Motley Crue, Lexi. Motley fucking Crue, and no one was molested. This is our second much respected poet, and we're now 2 for 2 in creepy dude syndrome. 13-year-old Judas finds this whole situation very satisfying.
Falling? What's all this demonic imagery all over your books and bag? Do you have any idea how immoral these satanic perverts are? What do you have to say for yourself?
Nothing. You keep talking. Middle-aged Judas is looking back on your khaki shorts, brown leather sandals over blue socks pulled right up to your knees, and he feels so validated right now.
We've also done John Milton, and he wasn't creepy.
Okay then, according to official Satan is my superhero data, 2 out of 3 poets are sickos.
Echoing over the deserted moor came the beast's hideous roar. It said, if you can rhyme, you molest children 66.6% of the time.
Poe supported himself, his teenage bride, aka his cousin, and her mother, aka his aunt, by working as an editor for various periodicals and magazines in the antebellum North.
There's a lot of talk in the North these days about the morality of slavery. I would like to say, as a man raised by slavers in the South, we're just as moral and ethical as everyone else. If you don't believe me, ask my wife. Virginia, darling, put your dolls down and come say hello to the nice man.
Over the next few years, Poe was a very successful writer. Not like necessarily financially. For example, The Raven was massive and made him a household name at the time.
I knew that lying bastard wasn't a runaway alcoholic degenerate gambler who had previously enlisted under false and fraudulent pretenses.
Despite the nationwide exposure, Poe was paid just $9 for The Raven, which in today's money is like $300 US.
That is still too much to pay for poetry.
You're really down on poets in this episode.
Yeah, the child molesters, at least 66.6% of the time.
Poe had also lost work through being drunk on the job.
Poe, are you drunk?
No. I'm just very drunk.
And when he tried to parlay his growing reputation as one of America's most successful writers into a cushy government job that would pay well, he instead got drunk and missed the meeting.
So let me run you through some of my employment history. I was assistant editor of the Southern Literary Messenger. I was assistant editor at Burton's Gentleman's Magazine, which sounds pornographic, but sadly it wasn't. Then I was co-editor over at Graham's Magazine.
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
Edgar Allan Poe was an alcoholic.
We already knew that from the marrying his own cousin part.
Do you, Edgar Allan Poe, take Virginia Eliza Clem for your lawful wife?
I plead not guilty, Your Honor.
Sadly, at the age of only 24, poor Virginia died of tuberculosis.
To be honest, she was getting a bit long in the tooth.
Over the next 2 years, Poe spiraled into alcoholic abyss, and on October 3rd, 1849, he was found semi-conscious in Baltimore.
He got some bad heroin from Stringer Bell.
Well, he wasn't a day player on the wire. However, he did lie in a hospital bed for 3 days, occasionally calling out,
Reynolds! Reynolds!
Maybe it was Deadpool that got him.
Take that!
Oh, God!
Purifier!
Why are you doing this?
Hey!
Stop!
Maximum effort! Hey!
And according to the doctor, Edgar Allan Poe's last words, allegedly, were,
Lord help my poor soul.
He had good reason to be concerned.
Hello, Edgar. I'm Father Tom. I'm here to offer pastoral care until you pass.
Oh, Father, there's no way I'm getting into heaven. I married my 13-year-old cousin whom I've been grooming since the age of 7.
I can see why you feel you have a good reason to be concerned. But can I ask, is the Bible the source and universal authority on morality?
Well, yes, of course.
Excellent. Now, if you could just take me to the page in that source and universal authority on morality that covers pedophilia.
I don't think the Bible's particularly clear on the subject.
And now, Edgar, you know why I could never be an atheist.
To this day, no one knows the cause of death, which is awesome for theories. So, there have been many, many theories. The most reputable ones are alcohol poisoning / alcoholism. It is known that Poe was trying to get sober at the time of his death, but he might have fallen off the wagon and had the bender to end all benders.
Oh, yeah, baby. Shake that booty for me. You nasty girl. Oh, yeah, you are a nasty girl. You're nasty.
Sir, this is a primary school?
Yeah, I know.
Another interesting and plausible theory is a thing called cooping. Cooping was a practice of drugging or beating people, dressing them in someone else's clothes, and then taking them to multiple voting booths to vote as different people.
This is my Uncle Ralph. He's here to vote for Trump.
This man looks mentally incapacitated.
Yeah, I told you, he's here to vote for Trump.
Now, where this theory takes a right turn into plausibility lane is that Poe was found near a voting booth on election day in someone else's clothes.
These aren't my pants. Someone else shit them.
Adjacent to, and probably even more plausible than the cooping theory, is that Poe was a victim of a mugging.
Hand over your wallet.
Okay, just don't hurt me.
Here, I'm not a monster. You can have back the photo of your kid.
That, sir, is my wife.
And then we take a left turn out of plausibility lane and we head down not ridiculous speculation avenue.
I don't know where this Google Maps metaphor came from or where it's going, but I am here for it.
In 1875, Poe's body was exhumed and moved to a new grave. Gravediggers allegedly witnessed a hard marble-like object rolling around in his skull. This may have been a brain tumour.
Or an actual marble. You don't know.
Now, Mr. Poe, can you hear this?
Yes, I hear it, Doctor. What is it?
Well, it's not good.
It has also been suggested that Poe's symptoms in his last 72 hours sounded a lot like rabies.
Maybe he married a rabies baby.
And you take Edgar Allan Poe to be your lawful husband. Yeah!
Here's where the fun begins. A theory goes that Poe got the rabies from drinking bat's blood in a satanic ritual.
Who does this guy think he is? Ozzy Osbourne?
I'll never touch no kids. Sharon, tell them.
Another fun theory is that the Freemasons dosed him with some exotic poison from the Orient because his next book was going to expose their satanic secrets.
Grandmaster! Grandmaster! Edgar Allan Poe is about to expose one of our most guarded secrets!
My God, which one?
He's gonna tell the world we're boring as fuck!
Satan.
And yet another fun theory is that the devil collected his due on the Faustian deal he had made with Poe for Poe to be a great writer. And this is backed up as a theory by the fact that a number of Poe's earliest works were Faustian tales.
Oh yeah, I totally went out of my way to get a pedophile's soul. It's not like they all end up in hell anyway. We use them to store marbles in.
Please stop.
Your skull, my choice.
So let's have a look at some of these Faustian tales. In 1832's Le Duc de l'Omelette, during an exotic meal, a fashionable French aristocrat dies of disgust and goes directly to hell.
Sacre bleu, is the chef wearing double denim? Oh, my heart cannot take this. Sacre bleu, everyone's wearing double denim. Oh no, this must be hell.
In hell, this privileged asshole meets Beelzebub, Prince of the Fly. Leduc recognises the Faustian tale trope that he's found himself in, and he challenges the devil to a card game for his soul.
You didn't say Uno in the left hand.
Yes, I did.
Well, I never heard it, and the default rule is if it's contested, no win.
And like any self-respecting elite white man, Leduc cheats and beats the devil, getting himself released from hell.
Uno!
You didn't say it in the last hand.
Yes, I did. You must not have heard me, and the default rule, if it is contestant, to award the win.
You know I'm the devil, right? Father of lies, destroyer of empires, eater of souls.
Yep.
Right, well, if you say that's the rule, then that's rule. Well played. You win.
Also first published in 1832 is another Faustian tale set in France. This one is titled Bonbon. The title character is a vain, shallow man, believing himself to be a philosopher.
I'm Andrew Tate, and I don't like where this character description is going.
The devil explains to Bonbon that he eats the souls of great philosophers. While drunk and believing himself a great man of letters, Bonbon tries to sell his soul. But Satan comically refuses, claiming,
I couldn't think of such a thing. Supplied at present. Have no funds on hand. Besides, very ungentlemanly in me to take advantage of your present situation.
The devil not wanting to buy your soul must be like being a billionaire and only just finding out about Epstein Island now.
Oh, come on, guys. I thought it was meant to be crypto bros before underage hoes.
1838's Silence, a Fable, is set in Libya and mentions a demon and Allah, so we can assume that this is an Islamic demon. This jinn attempts to scare a lone man in the wilderness with wild animals and wild weather, but all to no avail.
Roar!
I know that's an evil spirit making all that noise. Lions don't live in the desert.
Yes, they do.
Seriously? A tsunami warning in the middle of the desert?
It's a really big one.
Then when the demon introduces absolute silence to the night air, the man runs away in terror.
Are you there, demon? Hello? You're not just gonna leave me here alone with my own thoughts, are you? The inhumanity. I'm not a happy man.
In 1839's Devil in the Belfry, Satan arrives in town playing a fiddle. He then attacks the bell ringer, takes over the bell tower, then starts ringing the previously accurate on-time, every-time bells at odd times. Chaos ensues.
Oh dear, I'm late for work. Gotta go, bye. That's lunch. And that's home time. Best work day ever.
You didn't even leave the house!
1841's Never Bet the Devil Your Head is yet another Faustian tale of a wager with the devil. This time it involves jumping a turnstile and a decapitated dog.
Just another Tuesday in this household.
Rover, where's your head? As you can tell from the material, Poe had an interest in demonic themes and he was openly curious about all things occult.
I'm not creepy. You're creepy.
But I think it was all just mostly academic and inspiration for his work. He is known to have sent one of his stories to the professor of Hebrew and Oriental literature at New York University, the Reverend George Bush. And yes, this Reverend George Bush is an ancestor.
And what are we going to call this little angel, Mrs. Bush?
George!
You are aware there are other names, right?
Okay then, Jeb.
Look, if you're not going to take this seriously, then just don't bother.
Poe sent the work to the good Reverend George Bush. Never thought that was a sentence that I would say. Because he was a much respected expert in the field, and Poe wanted to know if he'd got the facts right in his work. So, probably not so much a devotee of the dark arts, but rather an author with a hard-on for authenticity.
And children.
If you also have a hard-on for authenticity,
But not children.
you should join our Patreon.
Go to patreon.com/Satan is my superhero.
No poets.
I think you mean no pedos?
Poet, pedo, tomato, tomato.
66.6% of the time.
What can we take away from this little weasel of a man before we all cancel him?
In a review of Le Duc de l'Omelette, the critic wrote,
Mr. Poe is too fond of the wild, unnatural, and horrible. Why will he not permit his fine genius to soar into purer, brighter, and happier regions? Why will he not disenthrall himself from the spells of German enchantment and supernatural imagery? There is room enough for exercise of the highest powers upon the multiform relations of human life, without descending into the dark, mysterious, and unutterable creations of licentious fancy.
The dark, mysterious, and unutterable creations of licentious fancy are where we live, baby.
Except for marrying 13-year-olds.
Yeah, well, obviously. Now you've just ruined the whole flow, Judas. This was meant to be where I go, and that's why Satan is my superhero.
That's fine, just do it now.
And that's why Satan is my superhero.
Yeah, that sucked.
Thank you so much for listening. Rate, review, subscribe, all that podcast stuff. But most of all, please give us money.
Go to patreon.com/Satan is my superhero.
If you join our Patreon at the Third Circle of Hell, you'll receive access to exclusive content like this.
Be that word our sign of parting, bird or fiend? I shrieked, upstarting. Get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of that lie thou soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart, and take thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven, nevermore.